Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Boozy Botanical podcast. My name is Angelique.
And I'm Holly.
And we're back for episode 83, people. Oh my God.
83. Can you believe it?
It's easy as 1, 2, 3.
Hey, that was good.
Michael Jackson's like, that's exactly how the song went.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Holly, how are you? What are you drinking today?
I'm doing so good. I have a very pretty bottle. Let me grab it real quick.
Ooh, I'm excited. Holly was telling me that she's bringing something new to the stage today.
Yes, you guys. So if for those watching on
what is
YouTube, look at how
that?
pretty. So I was at
Like
the
a
grocery store.
reddish hue.
Yes, this is a rosé, and I was at the grocery store trying to find just something like exciting, just more fun to drink on the podcast versus like the same old like mixed drinks. And I stumbled upon Keel and Curly Winery from Keel Farms, and I love that their logo says farm fresh wine.
That's cute.
What's cool, you guys, is now this is gonna sound like an ad. It's totally not, but I just literally kind of fell in love with this company. Like, they're so cute.
Yeah.
They are local to Florida, and you guys, they are from Plant City, Florida. I mean, hello.
There's a Plant City, Florida. Let's start there. What?
Right? Now it's
what
like
does that even mean?
It's in like the outskirts of Tampa area. So unfortunately not very close to me. But if you are in the Tampa area, what's cool is you can go to their farm and they do winery tours. They have a sipping room. They did a corn maze and corky corn maze for October. So basically, like, you go through a corn maze with your wine. It's like so cute.
That's really cute.
So I didn't say what kind of wine it is, I realized, but this is a blueberry rosé. They have so many fruity like flavors. Like, there's a peach, there's a wild berry, there's a lime, there's a strawberry white wine.
Bomb.
Oh, I know. And Angelique, just for you, they have pecan pie hard cider bottled.
What? No way. That sounds crazy.
So I have a fun ASMR for you guys.
Okay. Oh, she doesn't stop this one.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh no. Oh no.
Your ears tingling. Oh, I dropped the cork. Okay.
My ear is turned on.
And then hang on for the grand finale.
Oh, I mean, take a girl to dinner first, Holly Smith.
Jesus
Christ.
Oh, and she's good. She's
good. Gosh, you're gonna have to text me the name again so I can see if there's any options on the West Coast.
I will. And again, for those listening, Keel and Curly Winery, and this is the blueberry rosé.
That's so cute. Or just check your bag when you go to Arizona for Christmas, and then leave it with your mom, and then have her send it to me.
Dude, you should literally look at all the flavors they have. I'm trying to grab the cork with my toe. Don't mind me, because it fell in the hot. I'm just like bringing in all the things to turn you on, Angela.
I only touch corks with my big toe. Like to just spin them around.
Yeah. Did not expect this to get so erotic, but you know.
Oh, it's a Thursday, Holly. It's all I can do. It's a Thursday for us recording, guys. It's Tuesday for you guys.
Yes. So take a look at all the flavors they have. Let me know, and I'll see what I can do.
Oh, with her toe.
With my toe. I'm just kidding.
Well, Holly.
Yes.
I also have a pretty drink today that I also did not make. It's a strawberry pink drink in a cup. We all love a pink drink. We gotta love it. From Starbucks, which, by the way, they should do something orange for the holidays. It's a refresher.
I feel like they've done other colors, but I don't know if they've done orange.
Maybe they haven't stuck. I don't know. But Josh asked what I wanted, and I was like, what I want is a mixer. I was starting to think like, oh, like what? We don't really have anything today. So I brought my bag of tricks, and he was like, babe, maybe you should just take it. Just tell them you don't want to drink today. Because he's like, do you want to drink? And I was like, eh. And he was like, then don't drink. And I was like, I can't let them down.
They're finally on our side. They're usually like giving us grief for not wanting to drink on a given day.
Hello. I'm like, don't you dare. I am building a rapport with the internet. Okay. So then that he was like, okay, so like maybe you're gonna what are you gonna pull out, like a raspberry blueberry bad vodka? And I was like, or a mezcal. And he was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
So I'm gonna see what we pull out today, guys. I've saved some of the pink drink in like the
That's
Starbucks
what I was
cup.
gonna say. I figured you did.
Oh, if this is awful,
Ruin the whole thing.
no, oh no, we paid for this, people. Too much money. So I'm gonna pull a shooter out as per usual. And then you guys, shout out. Someone did send me a recommendation on some shooters to look at. But if anyone else has any ideas of shooters that I should buy, the bag's running a bit low. So I
gotta replenish.
Yeah. So if anybody has anything in particular that they're like, oh, this will be good, please DM it to me because I am ready. And if there's any maybe like holiday shooters that are out right now, I'm gonna look for that. But if there's anything on your mind, please let a girl know.
That would be so fun. Okay.
Right.
So let's see what we got.
Bag ASMR. Okay. Whoa, Josh called it.
What is it?
Hold on.
Blue
raspberry flavored vodka.
Hey, that can't be that bad.
I'm so happy. I really didn't want it to be the mezcal.
Oh,
this is what it looks like. We finally got another UV. Made in the USA. All right, let's bring her in. Hold on. Try not to mess up my sound setup. My goodness. All right, ASMR. Oh, maybe I'm weak. Hold on.
Oh no.
Hold on. I need to use my dominant hand.
So painful.
My God.
You're gonna get carpal tunnel.
Oh,
there she is.
But it was worth it. All right, hold on. So that you guys can see. And for those listening, it's a very bright blue shooter.
I wonder if it's going to change the color a lot.
I'm wondering. I don't know how much to do. Okay, I'll do at least half.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not half yet. There we go. That's also not half yet. There we go. Ew, it's getting darker. Okay. Okay, one second. Holly, I'm going to text Tyson and I want him to buy you a bag of tricks because this is not fair.
I know it's not fair. And I said I'm down. So it needs to be fair though.
He has a different color now.
See, that's what I was wondering if it was going to go from pink to like, what is that? Gray?
Gray? Yeah, I'm going to text Tyson because I just want to laugh at you. Okay, are you guys ready?
I want to see you suffer. I
want to see you cry. All right.
There she goes, taking a sip. What is she going to think?
She thinks she'll be okay.
Okay.
The blueberry is strong.
With this drink in hand.
I will continue with it, you guys. I will do this for you because the blueberry is very potent, but I'm not getting the vodka cleaner taste after, which you guys know I hate. So I think that's where the milkiness is helping, the coconut milk. So we're going to be all right, guys. It's not even an ugly color. It's like a very, very soft pink gray.
Maybe it's like a taupey beige.
Exactly.
Cool tone.
Is that how you say? I never knew how to say that. Is it taupe or top?
Oh, I always say taupe.
I think taupe is right because taupe.
Right.
Taupe. Okay. All right. Holly,
man.
How are you? How was well, never mind. Halloween was yesterday. Hope you guys had a great Halloween.
Yes.
We have a few days until the Halloween weekend.
Exactly. So who knows what I ended up doing? I'm sure it was as festive as it could be.
I project it was a lot of fun.
Yes, we do have plans actually for tomorrow to take the doggos to a pumpkin patch because
that's really cute.
Yes, little backstory. When we first got Stormy, her first ever outing, she was allowed to like touch the ground when she got all her like shots and everything that puppies need. It was the first time she was able to walk on the ground, and we went to a pumpkin patch. So we have a picture of her. It's the cutest one. You may have seen it, Angelique. It was in our gallery wall, but she's sitting by these pumpkins and she looks so cute. And it was just like a good memory because it was her first like adventure outside.
Yeah. That's really cute.
Yeah, being that this is our first holiday season with Kyler, his first holiday season ever because he's a little baby.
Yeah.
We really want to take him to a pumpkin patch and get a picture with him and all the things.
Oh my God. Are they both going?
Yes. Yep. They're both going to go.
You should try to redo for Stormy and for him the photo of her when she was little.
No, I'm really hoping we can. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Yes, the last the pumpkin patch we had gone to with the infamous photo was, I want to say it was in like Culver City or something. It was a
Was it
really cute
a
one.
was it a classic LA pumpkin patch? That's not a patch, it's a parking lot.
Oh, well, it was a plot of dirt, so
Oh,
it
no,
was
that's better, you guys. Okay, those of you are probably thinking like, "What the hell is Angelique talking about?" Let me tell you. So, me and Holly are from Arizona, where there's land,
yes.
and I don't wanna speak for you, Holly, but I imagine you went to actual farms growing
Yes.
up? Okay,
Like Queen
great.
Creek and all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My farm of choice was Buckaloo, in on the
Farm of
way to
choice.
Ajo,
It's
and
not a farm of choice, people.
yes, and it's actually for sale on Zillow right now, which is very interesting, and I was like, "Wow, I
Circle, you
could
can buy it.
oh my god, I could get 5 houses, like, on this plot of land for, like, 1,000,000, and I can't even get one in LA." You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous.
Right, right.
It's a freaking farm, people. Like, it comes with pumpkins. Okay, but besides the point, 'cause I've been looking, but, that's what I know. It's what Holly
Yeah.
knows. We know pumpkin patches. You bring your knife, you
Yes.
cut it off the vine, do the whole thing. This town, people, you should be ashamed.
To even call it a pumpkin patch.
I'm just like, don't call it a patch, call it a
Well
pumpkin lot. That's what
well,
I want you to call
that'd
it.
be kinda cute. The first pumpkin lot that I went to was off of the 101 and, like, what is that,
Is it at the
Sepulveda?
Westfield?
I believe so. It's right off the
Off of
freeway.
Woodman,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
near
yeah.
the mall. I went there 2 weeks ago.
Aw,
Out of all the
cute.
pumpkin lots in town, that's probably one of the better ones. Me, Matt, and Josh had to go to a couple because we were like, "These ones are not hitting it." We went to the one in Eagle Rock first, next to the big Target,
Oh,
remember?
cute. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, it was not good. Mm-mm.
Oh,
They were
man.
rotting.
Well,
My
see, it's
hand
what we
went
talked about.
through a pumpkin.
Ew,
It's
you poor
disgusting.
thing.
It went through technically the stem, which I'm like, "Ugh." You
Mhm.
guys,
'Cause it's too
LA,
damn hot.
it's too hot. There's no sustenance. At least oh god. So you guys, in LA, and I don't know how it is in New York because there isn't even lots, but, like, in LA, people, like, I guess companies will, like, rent out parking lot space and just
Think, like,
try to
Christmas
make
tree lots.
yeah, think that, but they added pumpkins and, like, blow up games for kids, and sometimes there's, like, a petting zoo,
Well,
and
that's,
it's
like, a
like,
really good one. Sometimes
that's
they're
a
just
good one.
literally pumpkins, like, plain ones.
Right, like, they set up hay everywhere and threw some pumpkins on it, and they were literally all rotting. It was so bad.
Mm,
But LA is so congested that I think they're like, "Okay, like, not everyone is gonna drive an hour
yeah,
to an hour and a half to the one farm on the outskirts of town." Like, there's a couple probably on the outskirts.
yeah.
There's a really good one if you're in LA, guys, in Moore Park called Underwood Family Farms, and that one's
That sounds
gorgeous.
familiar. Yes,
One of the
yes.
best pumpkin patches I've ever been to. It's so gorgeous. I literally pulled carrots out of the ground to harvest. Very
What?
cutesy. So, like, that's a good
Mm,
one, but, like, all over LA is just, like, what I like to call pumpkin lots. But what makes me mad is that they're called patches, and I'm like, "Don't lie to us."
right?
Ridiculous. Oh, yeah, it's
We're sweating in our UGG boots at a pumpkin lot, being like, "This is
yeah, like,
great.
let's be honest, people, but
Really feeling the fall magic."
right, right. Sorry to hijack your update, Holly. I was
No,
just
no.
very
You're good.
invigorated.
I the people needed to hear it. It's okay. But, yes, that's our plan. We're going to a pumpkin patch. On the speaking of gardens, I was gonna give you guys a little update on my
Yay.
garden. I have carrots growing, so that reminded me,
Stop it.
and I know, you guys, my garden right now is at the point where it's not fully overgrown, but things are starting to take off. So it looks really pretty. It still looks kind of manicured, because I mean, let's be honest, like if you have a garden, like towards the end of the season, it gets looking a little rough. But right now, things look so pretty. The Lettuce Grow
Oh, yay.
farm stand is doing its thing. She's popping off, and it's like so much fun, you guys. Like I've just been really enjoying having a garden. I step outside every morning, let the dogs out, but this morning it was, like, cloudy and overcast,
Oh, that's
and,
nice.
again, from being from Arizona, we love a good cloudy morning,
Yes.
but I don't know, I just felt, like, this sense of gratitude that I'm like, "Man, like, I did this with my own hands, I worked so hard, and now I'm starting to you know, see stuff coming out of the ground."
Oh, that's so nice. That's really special.
Yeah,
Are you
so
growing tomatoes?
I am. Dude, tomatoes are hard. I don't know how.
Really?
I think they are. I don't maybe it's
Okay.
my zone. But I don't know how they have so many to harvest. They have tomatoes all the time, and
Yeah.
I got like 2 last
Are you
year.
doing like cherry tomatoes or big tomatoes?
So I did a little bit of both. I've always had
Okay.
better luck with the cherry variety.
Yeah.
And the thing about me is I don't wanna just grow regular beefsteak tomatoes. I want, like, the heirloom, the speckled, with
Yeah.
everything. Like, even my friend
Oh,
Jen,
yeah.
or, my aunt next door, she's like, "Oh, Holly always has to grow the fancy stuff." I'm like,
Oh, yeah. That's what we're here for.
"Well, because I love houseplants, so I want my veggies to be variegated, I want my leaves to be
Your
variegated."
variegated basil.
Yes.
I saw it.
So, but so I have high hopes though. I have 2 tomato plants right now. One is a cherry variety, but it's like a dark, I think they call it like a chocolate cherry variety or something.
Yeah.
And then I
Ooh,
believe the other one that I'm growing is an heirloom, but I think that is chocolate colored as well.
cool.
So we'll see. Yes.
One of the kids that I take care of sometimes in Eagle Rock, his mom is a professional chef and she has a garden as
Oh.
well. And one day I was over and she was like, "You want some tomato?" And I was like, "Sure." And she's like, "They're going to go bad soon. Like they need to get eaten." So
Yeah.
what she did was she chopped it up for me and put olive oil, salt, and pepper.
Oh,
And Holly, truly the best tomato I ever had in my
oh
life.
my God, I
It's
bet.
one of the fat, I don't know if this is which one this is considered. It's really fat, and sometimes they
Yes.
look kind of bulbous,
I
and
think
there's,
that's
like,
an
the
heirloom kind.
yeah, and they're, like they have dark streaks on it, and it's not just straight up red necessarily, it's kinda purpley,
Mhm.
chocolatey, like you were saying.
Mhm.
It was so sweet, and she was like, "Yeah,
Oh,
there's just something about growing it at home. It's different." And I'm like, every time
yeah.
I'm taking care of their kid on Saturday, and I'm gonna be like, "How are the tomatoes looking?" 'Cause because, like, she's already given them to me twice.
That's
It
so
it's such a
nice.
good snack, and that
Oh,
literally that one tomato has made me want to have a garden, just like
isn't that
hers.
isn't that crazy? It's the
Yeah.
same thing with, like, trying, backyard chicken eggs, and you're like,
Mhm.
"Wow, I can really taste a difference," and
We
it's yeah,
had we had chicken coop eggs when we went on our 5-year anniversary to Ojai, remember?
that's right, you guys could just pick
Oh,
them in the morning.
oh, yeah, they were so good. I was like, "What a dream, people." It was
Mhm.
amazing. Oh gosh, and they're tiny, but, like, you don't need much else, you know?
Sometimes they're bigger, it just depends,
Depends on the
but
chicken, I'm sure.
yeah,
These were itty
so
bitty, but they were so good.
dude, I low key, I want to start raising quail because they're cute and there's
Oh.
different breeds, like there's domesticated quote unquote breeds. And people do now this is gonna be sad. I would not do this. People raise them to
Eat
process
them.
them.
Yeah. Oh.
But I would
The
just grow
quail's a
them.
delicacy.
Yeah, and grow them. I would raise them for their eggs because they
Right.
are very nutritious. They're teeny, which reminded me of when you said that
Oh,
the
teeny
chicken eggs you
tiny.
had were small. But they're really good and they're cute and I don't know.
Have you ever may I ask,
Yeah.
controversial, have you ever eaten quail?
I don't think so,
I don't
no.
think I have either,
I
but
looked it
everyone
up.
freaks out about it, like, it's expensive. Probably I don't know, like, what makes it such a thing to prepare, but I
Mhm.
feel the same. I'm like I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, if I haven't had this animal, I'm not going to because I don't want more. You know what I mean? I already
No.
feel
Well,
bad enough,
have you
but to
had
have that
duck?
so cutesy. I think I've maybe had duck once or twice, like, not
It is
really
good.
knowing.
Yeah, it is
It's
really good.
good.
Well, because it's dark meat.
Oh, and it's like when you have chicken and it's the dark meat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel
I
that.
know. I would never eat my own pet. I would not.
No, my
Um,
god, it's like freaking Charlotte's Web.
I know. Now look,
God.
I understand people like moving to Florida and sort of hearing from people that do either hunt their food or, have a farm or a ranch. There
Yeah,
is a lot more like respect for the animal that goes
that's
into it
important.
as
Mhm.
far as like you are honoring their life by like feeding your family and none of it's going
Using
to
all of
waste.
it.
I mean, look,
Yes.
if you buy chicken from Ralph's, you're doing more harm
Oh,
than if you were
100%.
to, process your own chicken. Even
No,
though
for
it's sad
sure.
and but like
No, I have way more respect for hunters than I do, like, how we get our food normally, like,
yeah,
100%. It's
because we don't wanna do the dirty work, but we still wanna eat our food, like
right, but, like, we gotta be honest with ourselves, you know?
yeah.
Like, what's
So,
happening. 100%.
morally, I would be vegan in a heartbeat, but it's
It's
hard.
not easy, and
It's hard,
yeah.
so
But also, I think, like, it's fine. We're all at different stages in our life, and it's like there's some things that, like, they just are what they are. We were raised this way, and I'm not saying, like, we can't change, but,
right.
there's a lot of pros and cons, I think, on both sides, you know?
I agree. But
Yeah. But
with all that said, Angelique
get some quail. I'm so excited for you. But I did have a quick question before we
Oh,
go on to
yes,
me.
yes,
Do
yes.
quail like to be in coops like chickens do? Because I feel like quail's always running around
Well, so
and chickens just
they
sit.
look so different from quails that we would see in Arizona.
The quails
Um,
in Arizona are so cute.
oh my god, they're adorable. Their little legs and when they run
Yeah,
across the
and
street.
their little, like, antenna.
Yes! Oh my gosh, and the
Yeah.
babies that would just follow them.
Oh, they're
Um,
good.
but I haven't really done a full deep dive into researching it because I don't know when I will get them, but they do have a coop and they do lay in their coop, and they're a little bit cleaner than chickens, definitely cleaner than ducks. Because like, I wanna have ducks one
Are
day, but
ducks
those are
messy?
very messy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, they love water, so they shit
Oh, the
and eat and
muddy
they
and
step in the
gross. Yeah, yeah,
water and it's
yeah.
but, I mean, they're
Mm,
cute.
yeah.
So,
Oh.
if that answers your question,
Oh, it
yes.
does, it
Yeah.
does. Oh, do you guys see a little tail? Rue just stepped up to say
Yes.
hi.
Hi,
Oh,
Rue. She's
so
like, "I'll eat the
cute.
quail, mom."
Oh, she's like, "I'd love to eat the quail. I love to eat it." Oh, she's like, "Leave me alone. You're annoying." Speaking of Rue, I did my first pet claim with pet insurance. That was my first time. That was
Okay,
exciting.
how did that
Um,
go? This adult over here.
hello. Yesterday I sat down and I was like, I need to submit this claim. I need to get this reimbursement from the theater. I need to fill out this utility thing. And I was like,
Oh,
look at me in my office. My office is just the
I
sofa,
know.
iPad here, laptop on the other side. And I was like, I'm good to go.
Look at you.
And then Josh came to sit down at night and I was like, hold on, I need to move the office first. But no, she's well. We took her to the vet the day before we went to Europe, and the vet said she was rotund, which
What
was
is that?
rude.
What?
Rotund means round, like overweight.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's a very funny word. And I was like, excuse me? And they were like, 10 pounds is too much. And I was like, okay. I guess she's supposed to be like 8 pounds max, like maybe between like six
I
and a half to eight
I think
pounds.
that's how much Fitzy weighs, 8 pounds, like a little
She might be
baby.
a little bigger than him, but
Oh.
and she's not a year yet. So
Oh.
she likes to, I think she definitely loves her food, and I think she steals bugs and vice versa. But oh,
Yeah.
she's sitting here and she's covered in rainbows. Hold on, guys.
Oh. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you can see that Angelique has her, like, rainbow catcher, and it looks
Yeah.
so pretty.
It looks, yes, from Leave Me Alone, guys, but I need to still put up some of our boozy ones, which, by the way, people, I know I've been getting some requests on how to buy the ones that we sold at the live show, and Holly and I are setting some things up, so I'll DM you because we have a few
Yes.
left and they're super cutesy.
And I also
But
have my shirt that I'm
oh
wearing, the Boozy
yeah,
Baby shirt.
oh, I love it. But yes, the vet said that she's a little overweight, and so I guess yeah, she's not supposed to be 10 pounds max. So, like, that's, like, not max, sorry. She's not supposed to be hitting 10 pounds. She's not supposed to
Yeah,
be double digits.
I see.
So, she's lost a little bit of weight already, I think, because the vet has been bugging us to switch them to an all wet diet and
Really? Like, no
no dry
free
food at
feeding?
all. Don't
Wow.
chew my headphones. But apparently, according to this one doctor, wet food is better for cats because cats don't chew their food.
Oh.
So, they yeah, if you watch Fitzy eat, like, they go like, I think they're just pushing it to the back of their throat, but
Oh,
they
'cause
don't
I hear him
chew.
crunching, but maybe
So
it's just
I do too. So
yeah.
I'm like, they must chew a little, but I think, like, they can break it down a little bit, but they don't, like, full on chew the way we do. I don't think they have, like, molars
Mm,
or something, I don't
I
know, but,
see.
it's easier for them to digest wet food, and I guess wet food, not that it doesn't have carbs, but apparently, like, it just processes better, and so she says they don't really gain weight with wet food as much. You would think that it's more fattening, but
Interesting.
I guess not. I don't know, it was
Right.
very I need to see if find the paperwork that she sent me, but I was very surprised by this. I guess, kibble is just filled with a lot of, like, carbs and things that,
It
like,
makes sense.
Yeah, that aren't as necessarily healthy, but, like, we get them good dry food and we still use it, but we just started playing with the idea of because she said cats tend to enjoy having food randomly given to them throughout the day if it's wet food,
Aw,
and Josh is home for
cute.
work all the time, so it's like they'll get some wet food in the morning, and then he'll randomly or I randomly throw some in middle of the day, maybe later, like,
'Cause
late
they like to
afternoon.
graze, you know?
Exactly. So we're just doing a tiny bit of wet food, and then, like, at night, overnight, we'll split 1 cup between 2 of them of dry food just to have food there, and I
Yeah.
think she's actually lost weight.
That's awesome. Well, another thing
Yeah.
with wet food is I was always told that it's more hydrating and cats don't always get enough water
Well, she
intake.
did say that as well.
Yeah.
100%, yeah. So it's a good thing, it's expensive, but I want them to be healthy and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, so that happened. That wasn't my
Nice.
update. I'll be quick, I'm trying to think. Oh, not really planty related, guys, but you guys know that me and Josh got engaged.
Yes.
Yeah, so I bought a little book
Congratulations.
thank you. The little book of wedding checklists. I've been trying to,
So
like
cute.
it's really cutesy. It's from Amazon. Cute book. I already found a typo, but that's besides the point.
Of
Um,
course you did, Angelique.
trying has an I in it, lady.
Well, hey,
But
maybe she couldn't afford to have an editor, so she just had to
no,
do it herself.
and it's a really cute book. I'm not hating on
But
it.
if
I'm
I
just
wrote it, there'd be tons of typos.
I'm not leaving a Karen-y review. It's still a good book. It's just missing a letter I in one word. But it's very cute. I got it last night. It's nice because she includes like it's all like it sounds checklist. I should have brought it to show you, but um they there's areas of like vendors. Here's all the things to ask them. Caterers, here's
Oh
things
my
you should
gosh, that's
ask for.
great.
Yeah, and it's like in the beginning, there's a checklist of the essentials, and it's like check mark what matters to you, like wedding license, which I'm like, I think that's required actually.
Right, right.
Officiant, do you want a DJ or a musician? What's more important, or do you check mark both? Do you want both? And like all those things, and I thought that was really cool. And we are thinking of having, well, we definitely want a friend to officiate the wedding,
I
and it was
love
cool.
that.
Yeah, it was cool because there's an officiant section and it's like what to ask when you're interviewing officiants if you're going the more religious official route, if you
Mhm.
will, and
Sure.
then how to handle it if you're doing it with a friend. And
Very
like the checklist to do
cool.
with your friend, especially if it's their first time. And I thought that was so
Oh,
cool and it seems really helpful. And she has little hacks and tips like, like there was something of like vendors would normally charge more to do pickups from your venue on late nights or on Saturday. So see if the venue will allow them to come on Monday, like things like that to save
yeah.
money. So I thought that was really cool. But I'm in the process of booking venues to check out on Thanksgiving weekend. I think we have 4 or 5 that we're looking at. And I'm very lucky
Amazing.
that they're
In Tucson?
accommodating Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, in Tucson. So you
That's
can plan,
great.
Holly. It's going to be in Arizona.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
Yes. So we're dealing with that right now. I'm, in this stage of like, what do we want? I want Josh to be very
Mhm.
involved in the planning, and he has a lot of creative ideas as well. And it's just making
Oh,
sure our
good.
ideas line up. But, there's
Yes.
one that we both are very into, which I'm really happy about because it meant a lot to me.
A
And I'll
venue or
a
something else?
thing that's gonna happen at the
Oh,
wedding.
okay,
So
okay.
I'll tell
Cool,
you.
cool.
I wanna you haven't seen Bridgerton, right? Or you have?
No, I
That's
haven't seen
okay. So in the ballroom scenes, this is like 1700s or whatever, there's like a string quartet playing in the
Oh,
background. And then so I
cool.
want during cocktail hour and maybe while people are eating for there to be a string quartet playing, but they're playing all modern day music.
Oh my
So
god.
like in literally in Bridgerton, they play Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus, but it's all strings.
So
It's
cool.
really cool. So we're gonna do so what we're doing is I'm gonna reach out to the School of Music at the U of A and see if we can hire 4 musicians that are hopefully getting their graduate's degree in music. And if
Yeah,
not, like at least their undergrad, as long as they know what they're doing, can read sheet music is what matters.
for sure,
And I'm hoping like it's like a good gig for them as a student and it saves us money. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Where we can
Oh,
both win. So I'm
wow.
gonna try to get some students some work and then put together a list of songs. It's gonna be quite a few, so I'm hoping that they can accommodate, but it's gonna be a mix of pop punk, pop,
Oh,
and, like, really
cute.
cool like, songs that I'm hoping a lot of people know, like, we might do, Like it'll be like Fall Out Boy. It'll
Oh,
be Taking Back
cute.
Sunday, maybe Miley Cyrus, Billie Eilish. Like, very like
Yes.
I want to do like a Weekend song or Post Malone and like
Oh,
very
yeah.
mixing a lot of these like modern day music so that it's an Easter egg for our guests. Like I don't plan on telling a lot of people except
That's
you guys,
fun.
but we'll
The
see.
whole
We'll see.
podcast. That's
Don't worry, most of my friends don't listen to
exciting.
this. Full
That's gonna be
disclosure.
beautiful.
I thought that'd be really cool. And then I also have the Harry Potter wedding that I was in last year.
Mhm.
The groom's mom is a professional harpist. So, and
Wow.
she lives in Tucson and she does weddings. So I'm gonna get her rate and see if that's something we might want for the ceremony.
That'd be fun.
I'm still thinking about it because if we are also hiring the string quartet, I might just make them do both. So
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see. I got to see what's more affordable and makes sense. But we're looking at venues in Tucson. I'm struggling because I really want to celebrate the cultures in our relationship, so Brazilian, Armenian, and
Yes.
Mexican, and I want to do that through food. But you know how it is. You've already done it. Everyone's like, you have to use our caterer, and I'm
Oh,
like, I
yeah.
don't want your white food.
I know.
I'm just kidding. Sorry to anyone listening,
No,
but
one thing that I regret about our wedding is not throwing in any of my Mexican culture. I will say, looking back now, it was a very white wedding. And
it
my grandma, she was like,
was
"Hey,"
literally
like,
white. You sent me photos.
yes,
Oh,
she
it's
was
not
like,
bad.
my grandma's like, "I'll pay for you to have mariachis," and I was like, "No, grandma, that's not the vibe." But I'm
This
like,
is
"Damn
Los
it!
Angeles.
Like, why didn't I do that? I'm such an idiot."
Oh my god, that's okay. Was that your
But
mom's mom?
mhm,
I feel like it's probably inevitable to not be like, "Man, why didn't I do this?" Like, I feel like
yeah,
I'm gonna have a lot of those as well, but I just really wanna take things as they come and just know that, like, our ideas are good ones and everyone's gonna be different, and there's always gonna be something that you're like, "Oh, that's so cool. I wish we did that," and I'm just trying to
of
not let it,
course.
like, get to me,
Yeah, don't let
but
it get to you, 'cause that's
yeah.
everyone will tell you that, but really, don't let it get to you, you
Oh
know?
my gosh, the big thing right now, because I always wanted to be thrifty for my wedding, and I still do, but I also love throwing a party, and I take pride
Mhm.
in my parties, like, I want them to be good. Like, you
Of
know how my Halloween
course,
party was last year, like, I like to really go the extra mile,
of
and everyone's
course.
being like, "Angelique, it's one day. Angelique." And it's like, "Don't. You have a future.
Don't.
Like, just really, like, keep it simple," and I'm like, "How dare you?" And I'm like, "I don't know if I wanna invite you now because 'cause you're gonna judge my wedding." I'm just kidding. But no, like, I think there's definitely gonna be like,
I
"Oh,
totally
she definitely didn't take our advice on this one." And I'm
well,
like, "You know
see
what?
that
You're gonna have a great day with, like, Brazilian
exactly.
steak, so you should calm
I
down."
know, seriously. Oh
But,
my gosh, it's
I'm
gonna be
getting a lot of that.
amazing. I
Yeah.
know it will.
Oh, I think it's gonna be really beautiful. I'm very excited. I just need to set realistic goals. So I'm in the process of
Yeah.
that right now. I'm talking to a wedding coordinator that I know in Tucson, but then it's
Oh,
like,
cool.
do I want to spend the money on a coordinator? But I also want to be conscious of like, I don't think it's fair on the family or on Josh to like put it on me and him and then we're stressed,
No, for
you know?
sure.
I might just pay for a month package, which means that we still have control over how the wedding's gonna look, but then she'll take over the month before. So we'll
I think that
see.
would help a lot.
I
Like,
definitely
you
want to do
know?
it because,
Yeah.
like, there's times because even Matt was like, "I'll do everything," and I'm like,
Oh,
"Matt, stop
Matt.
it." Like, I would love that, but I also want you to enjoy my wedding. So it's like, it's that thing. So we're figuring things out, but I'll keep you guys posted. I'm very excited. We have big ideas. I think I'm going vintage. So, like, I'm really excited. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
But
Low
yeah,
key, I'm excited for the bachelorette weekend whenever that is.
I'm excited too. I'll keep you posted. I have no idea what we're gonna
I'm
do,
just like,
but
"I'm coming."
oh my god, no, of course, regardless of, like, who's in our parties, like, I want all the friends I care about there, so, like, either
Yeah,
way
that's the
yeah,
funnest part is, like, that's, like, the big party part
yeah,
of it, yeah, so
you can actually, like,
oh, that's
talk to your
cool.
friends throughout the day and, like, see them.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm really
So
excited.
cool. Yay,
Yeah.
that's so exciting.
So, Holly, I
Yes,
think this is such a cutesy, fun topic today.
I'm glad you think so.
You
I do
guys,
too.
Holly had such a cute idea. Talking about today plants that look best tiny. And we've been talking about a lot of itty bitty things today, itty bitty eggs, itty bitty
Yes,
quail.
that's
It's very on
right.
brand.
Yes, so basically we're talking about, like, how to pick the right tiny plants for your space and what to avoid and all the things. So I'm going to jump right into it because it's a
Please.
not lengthy, but we have a lot of good tips for you guys. So, um,
Small but mighty, you know?
small, tiny but mighty. That's right. So these are the ones that, yeah, like I said, they not only look cute, tiny, but they work good in the space.
Yes.
So first, I'll tell you the plants to avoid. We want
Ready.
to avoid climbers for obvious reasons, but we really don't
Yes.
want them to outgrow the space that they're in and having to climb upwards. And what I find with climbers is like we want to give them a moss pole, but if they're in a small area, we really don't want them to be constructing views. We'd
For
rather
sure.
them be flat. So that's
Yes.
the first one you want to avoid. The second is unless it's a very bright window, we want to avoid succulents. I know it's hard because
They're
succulents,
cute.
especially the rosette kind, they literally fall into so many of the perfect small, tiny plant category because they are rosette, so they're flat and they're tiny. Well, usually very tiny. So,
Yes.
but unfortunately, they just need light. So I found
We've told you guys time and time again.
I'd almost say a cacti is better indoors, still in a bright window, because I have tried to grow like an echeveria, for example, and they always get stretched. They always
Yep.
just are reaching
They're
for the
not cute
light,
when
and
they're
then
stretched.
it's not
Mm-mm.
cute. I know.
Mm-mm. And because it's taking away from they're losing their rosette. And then it's like, what's the point?
And I think this is why in the like maybe what was it 2015 era 2012 era of like being a plant mom quote unquote it was always about growing succulents, and I think it's for this reason, just because they're so tiny and cute when you buy them. Like why wouldn't you want to put
Right.
them on your little dark shelf to spruce it up? But
With no airflow or light.
yeah.
Right.
But unfortunately it's just gonna die a slow death.
Hello. Yeah,
Another
I mean,
one oh
really quick though, sorry.
yeah,
Going off of
yeah.
that, if you do have an outdoor space and you want to curate an outdoor space, like when you and I talked about our ideal potting bench, or like potting station setup,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be like the one exception, but I feel like this episode is definitely speaking more to people that have like apartments or smaller homes or no backyard. So like
Yes.
obviously if you have the backyard space, go to town with tiny succulents, but know that
Oh yeah.
they're going to grow fast probably.
Yeah, so you're right. This is more of interior speaking.
Yeah.
And oh, what was I going to say about that too? Oh, I also imagine like on tabletops, right? So like your kitchen table, sometimes like either you have a bouquet of flowers or like I recently purchased a peperomia that I'll get into later. But
What? Our nightmare?
I know, but it's
I'm
cute.
so curious.
I know, which you will see, but I'm going to save it for a little
Okay,
bit.
I'm ready.
And, the last plants, that I would avoid are trailers. So again, like climbers, trailers will definitely, especially fast growing ones, they're
Mhm.
gonna just kind of defeat the purpose of your tiny space that you want to put them in, unless of
Right.
course you do have a long or high shelf rather. So it makes me think of in my sister's house,
Yeah.
she has in her kitchen window to the left and right cabinets, and she has very high ceilings. So I gave her like a 2-inch string of hearts, and that thing was trailing very far.
Cute.
And that was cute. But like let's just say again, a tabletop situation, really you do not want to have a string of hearts on your table unless you don't mind it trailing down to the
Yeah.
floor.
It needs height. Like, oh, actually, I think Aurora's was a good example.
Mm,
A friend that we
yep.
have here in LA, hers, but again, she had it hanging in front of a window that was at least 8 feet high, it seemed like. So, like,
Mhm.
very specific circumstances or very tall shelving, I think works.
And you don't want your plants to this is what I think, you don't
Mm.
want them to outgrow the place you have them in.
Oh, my
Um,
nightmare.
it's hard, right? Because then you're like, "What do I do? It's gonna
Well,
outgrow this space." So,
that's how I feel
yeah.
about my monstera. Like,
Right.
I am excited that it keeps growing. That's my update really quick. I restaked my monstera. I don't think I told
Oh,
you guys last
yes!
time.
You showed us on Instagram, it's
I did.
beautiful.
It's
It is
taller than
stunning.
me. It's almost as tall as Josh, and Josh is like 6 feet tall. This
Oh,
note that it's on a plant stand, like
yeah.
the business is 6 feet tall, but the plant itself is shorter. But it's that feeling of like, we don't have the ceilings that we had at the last place.
That's right.
And I'm like, I'm looking and I'm like, she's closer to the ceiling than the floor at this point.
Right, you may have to ditch the stand to give it more real estate.
I know, but
I mean,
we'll
it's not the
yeah.
end of the
I could
world.
buy like 40 stand. I know like, I have those very low ones or just
Yeah.
yeah, just maybe put it on a little rolling thing. But yes, like you're completely right. And that's a plant that's a good example of like she's not staying tiny.
Oh, no. Nope, the roots aren't
Mm-mm.
staying tiny, the leaves aren't staying
Would
tiny.
you say that for philodendrons? No, it's not a philodendron. I keep doing that.
I know, it's okay.
Would you
It's
say in the
in
Monstera
style.
family, it's like that in general? Because like my Adansonii is psycho all the time.
It's so true because that is a genus that either climbs or trails, more so climbing if they wanna get to their full potential, and unfortunately for tiny spaces, it's either gonna be happy and grow massive, or it may just end up dying down the road because it's just not happy, and the leaves
Right.
get like, I'm thinking of my Sultapicana monstera,
Yeah.
for example, and when I first had that plant, it was trailing and the leaves would just get, like, microscopic at the end,
With the
so
Adansonii, mine is not mine
or
exists. It
runners.
doesn't die. Oh, literally, it's above me, and I'm like, "Stop." It runs, like, every week, it seems like, but
Yeah.
I think it's desperate to grow, like, I know Becca has a gorgeous staked Adansonii, and I just think
Mhm.
maybe that's what it is, Holly. I think we need to stop letting our Adansoniis trail. I think it's just it's not working.
I
Like,
know.
they won't necessarily die, but they'll just get stringy and ugly, you know?
It's so true. It's so
Yeah.
true.
'Cause that is a way to keep it small, but it's not cute small.
I know, and that's the thing, and it just
Mhm.
gets stringy, and then it'll eventually die, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Every person I've given runners to, they're like, "It died." I'm sorry.
Well, now we're gonna get into the plants you should look for, and this is the fun, positive part of the episode. Um,
Oh,
so we
no.
we want plants that grow in a compact cluster, such
Yes.
as peperomia and calathea varieties. I'm just
Yep.
gonna say it. If you can keep on top with the calathea's watering, and if it's in a tiny little like 2-inch
Oh,
plastic
yeah.
pot and then maybe you do a cover pot situation, that's going to be really good because another good thing, to be team calathea is that it's like if you don't water it, for example, and it starts to lose leaves, maybe it loses all its leaves. When it grows back, you'll never know. Like if you forget to water a monstera or a climbing philodendron, for example, even a pothos, it'll lose the bottom leaves and then it'll have so much stem. Like, do you remember my Rhaphidophora?
Mhm.
How it was just like,
I know her well.
oh my god, it's just
Mine
all
fits too.
stem.
The
Yeah,
5th one I bought.
I know. So, um, that is why we wanna
Yes.
lean more towards the I call it rosette growth pattern, but basically anything just that grows in a cluster. So this is really good for tabletops, counters, shelves.
Mhm.
Um,
Calatheas look great on tables.
I think so too.
I
I
agree.
really do. Yeah, and also the leaves don't take up space. Like that's what's hard because
'Cause they
I
grow
have
up, not out.
whoops, my mic is falling. Exactly. Like I've also remember I always talk about the wingspan of this plant or
Oh my
that
gosh, like your
plant.
ace of spades. Whew. It was like 5 feet.
Oh my gosh, so
Yeah.
true. Um,
What do you recommend though? So if let's say a beginner is listening to this, calatheas are not necessarily beginner plants. So how do like
yes.
I feel like I've talked about this a lot on the podcast because I'm a lazy plant person. I underwater so much and I
Yeah.
can see it around the house, but is I've had I think I've had 2 or 3 orbifolias, and my
Mhm.
only one that's doing fine with my habits is because I bought it big, the one that you and I got together. So,
Yes.
well, I guess it's fine if you're a beginner as long as you're not like me,
Well, I
because
was
and you have to be
yeah,
thoughtful of your soil blend, I suppose, with a calathea.
it's true. Now, as we go on to the more recommendations, I will tell you guys maybe some more, like, easy beginner plants, but this is you could just say more intermediate, I guess, like, if
Right.
you're a
It's
seasoned
episode
plant
83, people. You've been
but
listening along.
I will talk about beginner/easy plants in a
Cool, so
minute.
we can label them.
Oh, absolutely,
Cool, cool,
yes.
cool. So calathea
This
is probably intermediate.
intermediate, even peperomia, I will say,
Oh,
like,
oh.
they're not the
Oh.
most beginner friendly either,
Well,
in
they're
my opinion,
deceiving.
But
they're like snake plants.
Exactly. So this is for the plant owner that loves your climbing philodendrons, you love your climbing monsteras, even Hoya, but you want something on your table. Maybe I'm just speaking from experience, but
I'm here for it.
The next type of plants though, and I'd say this is again easy in the easy category, are low light plants. And this is because like they're typically slower growing and they won't outgrow their perfect spot that you found for them. And again, if you are newer and you don't really remember to water as much, this is great because they don't need as much water. So things like ZZ, and I've seen some teeny tiny ZZs. They're really
so cute.
And they do have a little bit more height. So if you want something that's tiny but has a little more height, that a ZZ would be really good. And now I will say snake plants, like the bird's nest variety, that's more of your rosette. But Angelique, I think you will disagree that that's an easy plant. I've had a few rot on me too.
I think it's like it's like easy intermediate. Like when you go to like a dance class, it's like beginner / intermediate. it's like that. Like I think as long as you can navigate the watering schedule, then you're fine. I think they're quite easy as long as you're not forgetting for 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and let's be honest though, we've all killed a snake plant.
Hello.
We've all forgot to water it, and then we're like, "Oh shit, let me water you."
It's
and then they're like, "Well, now I don't have any roots, so I'm gonna rot."
Anyway. Yeah, I think that's what's happening to my moonshine, and I'm really sad. I've had it for a couple years.
Oh, okay. So, another one that I truly recommend. I'm skipping Angelique if you're looking at my notes.
Oh, you're good. I'm jumping too.
I'm gonna circle back. Don't you worry.
All right, cool.
Haworthia. I think
I was so surprised you put this in. You put this in the notes.
Yeah. Now I say that because like a lot of varieties, they don't need a lot of light, but they give you that succulent look. So if you're trying to go for that, they definitely do. They are slower growing. They don't need as much water, and like they'll benefit from light, but I've seen a Haworthia in the sun and it's not as happy. So I think medium light or / low light for Haworthias, and
that's a good close to the window plant, like close-ish.
Yes. So for those watching on YouTube, you are a little bit special because you get to see pictures that I included.
Oh,
so
the bubble one.
There's that variety. This is one of my more favorite varieties too because it grows in like almost
sharp,
like
pointy ones.
Yeah, and then this is very cute too. It's almost like a see-through with pink.
That's the bubbly, like watery one. So that's the one that you love. That's like the zebra Haworthia.
I do, yes. Now this zebra one doesn't have the white spots, and I've seen at a couple nurseries that they almost grow like, I'm trying to describe what I'm seeing. So it is like the rosette, but they also kind of like overlap each other, the leaves, and they kind of like spin in a circle.
Yeah.
They're really cool. I also think they're just like, they are hardy, you know, and like figuratively and literally because their leaves are like a shell and they're like hard. So
they're really hard. They feel like plastic sometimes. Like they feel like the fake plants at Home Goods.
Yeah. But I think they have like honestly, I think of succulents and even cacti as like beachy plants, quote unquote. Specifically because I remember we were filming at, what is it called? It's a really popular surf ranch. His name is,
I don't know.
I'm gonna butcher his name. He's a famous surfer, and he started this surf ranch that is in the middle of California. And they have basically, what is it called? Like man-made waves.
Oh, very cool.
You'll go, and it's like you have to be invited to go there. And they had a really beautiful like lobby / hangout zone that literally reminded me of like a Hollister, but like a modernized Hollister, if you know what I mean.
That's very cool.
Very cool furniture, very modern, but beachy. And they had lots of plants. They had Haworthia, they had cacti, they had trying to think what other ones they had. So I always think of like Haworthia when I think of like beachy because that place designed it so well. Almost like Southwest vibes. Like if Joshua Tree met the ocean sort of vibe.
Oh, what a dream.
It's just very pretty, right?
That sounds amazing. Yeah.
So all that to say, give Haworthias a try.
I think they're great. It's funny because like I think it's one of those plants where they're like, oh, well, it's like a succulent. You can't put it indoors. And it's like with anything that I think is meant for outside, it's just like what Holly was saying, like there's always a windowsill, something like that. Like maybe
Mhm.
not doesn't have to be dark, dark, but like it's one of those ones that just seem okay.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
really is, and it hits the low light friendly, the rosette growth pattern, the
It just
small category, it hits all the
Well, it
categories.
made me think of one that I wanna honorably mention because I know it's
Please
not in the
do.
notes. My Sansevieria, the what's it called? I always for the s
Samurai?
the
No,
syn
no.
syndrilic syndrica
Cylindrical.
cylindrical the one that I've shown you guys that's, like,
Yes, the
such a slow grower.
starfish.
Yes, it is such a slow grower. I have it in, like, the it gets some light, but it's not really close to any windows in the office, and I've got
Yes.
babies coming out. That thing, I don't know when it gets watered, like, it feels
It's
fake, like
amazing.
but that's a plant that, like, if you want drama in your house, but you want it to be
Mhm.
small, I think that one's a really good idea because it splays out kinda like a starfish, like Holly was saying, but
Yeah.
it's just, like, you can keep it in the same pot for years, truly years, I would say.
And that
That one.
that one, there's a variety that grows a little bit more straight, but is still curved a
Yes.
little bit, and I
Mhm.
remember there was, I don't know, it must have been a large grower was releasing into the wild, wild being Home Depots and stuff,
Ooh. Yeah.
very large specimens, and people were taking photos by them, making them like the Iron Throne, like from Game of Thrones.
That
It
is
was so
really
cute.
funny. Oh my god. That's
'Cause it's huge.
amazing.
I mean, they were, like, probably 4 feet high and, like, 5 feet wide, and the girth on the leaves were, like, big, you know? So,
Yes, yes.
anyways, there's a lot of options. Now, that is not a tiny plant, but
No, that one's not because they do get big, but it takes years
yeah.
is the thing.
Yep. Now, the last one that I personally want to recommend to you guys, and this is the one that is on my kitchen table.
Ah,
Let's hope that I can pronounce it. So it is
okay.
the peperomia mini watermelon, aka the peperomia verschaffetii.
I think that's good.
Verschaffletii.
I think that's
Now,
very good.
yes, I saw this at EFG Orchids in DeLand, Florida, which Angelique, when you come visit me, we are
I'm
going there.
ready.
You're gonna
Yes.
lose it.
I'm
So,
excited.
yeah, I've had a watermelon peperomia, a regular one, and for me, it will grow fine for a while, and then it just, like,
Gets
just gives
leggy.
up, you
You
know?
had that huge one, I remember.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
But what's cool, and I got some of this information from an Instagram account called @plantwithemmeline, and I love that name. It's so cute. She wrote a very in-depth comparison of the two. And in fact, if you guys are watching on YouTube, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you the photo.
Oh, yeah, the
They're
comparison.
they're so similar but so different, right? Like if you're into plants,
Yes.
you're like, "No, that's different." And it's true. So what's cool about them though, the comparison is that they both stay more compact, but the mini one in particular has, she has, quote, "growing in small mounds rather than long petioles." And
Yes.
I think that's really interesting, you know?
And I
So
think if you guys are new to plants and you're looking like at a nursery or a plant shop, obviously the very easy distinction because they both have that watermelon sort of lining on them.
white stripes, yeah.
Exactly. But a regular watermelon peperomia is just like very round and bulbous,
Mhm.
whereas the mini one has more like spear sort of shaped leaves. Is that
Yes,
fair
more
to like almond?
lancelet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you guys, they're much more rigid in person. So think
Yes, you're completely right.
somewhere between like a ripple peperomia and then the watermelon peperomia or the peperomia argyrius is
Mhm.
flat. It's like a
Yes.
teardrop flat, and the only stripes are coming from the color, not from the actual ridges like the mini.
The bumpies. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I'm
so
liking it. I used to
sweet.
not like the mini watermelon.
Really?
I don't know why. I was like, "Well, it's not a real watermelon," but I love it. I really like it a lot. It's growing on my kitchen table, as I've said,
Oh,
and
does it
it's
have a red, it's not the peperomia that has red on the underside, is it?
it is not, but they do
Okay.
have somewhat red petioles or stems,
Got it, okay.
and oh my gosh, mine in particular, I did share it on my IG story. It has these rat tail blooms, but they're, like, thick, Angelique.
Oh,
May I show you?
cute. Yes, now let me see.
Let me find a photo because even when I got it from the nursery, the girl was like, I was expecting this to be hard, and it's like hollow, like when you squeeze it.
Right. Oh,
Here we
interesting.
go.
They're big.
Here's a photo, Angelique. I mean, have you ever seen such a thing?
Oh, you did post this, didn't you?
Yes, they're
That's
so thick.
crazy. Yeah, they kind of remind me. They don't look exactly the same, but like the very thick, what's it called? Fluorescence, like with alocasia's flower.
Inflorescence, yeah, it
Yeah,
does kinda look like
inflorescence.
that,
Very
but
thick.
it is a peperomia bloom, and
That's
it's kinda crazy.
crazy. That
Mhm.
is so crazy. I did want to say before we wrap up, Holly, did we talk about terrarium plants?
So this was the last part that I wanted to
Oh,
share
awesome.
with you guys. So
Okay.
where do we find tiny plants? Because like you don't always find the teeny tinies, but if
Right.
you go to a nursery or even like a lot of times smaller plant shops will have them, look for their labeled terrarium plants because they're always tiny because they need to fit in a terrarium. But a lot of them don't have to be grown in a terrarium environment. So
Yes.
that is it doesn't have to be ultra humidity or ultra humid. So that
Yeah.
is my tip where to find them.
Mm,
We're online on Etsy. If you look under like 2-inch plants, if you type that into Etsy, it'll probably
yeah.
come up. But yeah,
Oh,
that's where I
awesome. I was gonna say before we leave not the fans, Jesus, before we leave our
think.
friends, the fam, thank you. Um, Something else, which I know is like kind of going against a pinch what we were talking about, like not doing trailers, but I know
Yeah.
you were talking about like the string of hearts trailing nicely, depending on the
Mhm.
area you put it in. I've noticed like I have that marble, is it called marbled? The like the variegated heartleaf philodendron that I got.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
considered
that's what it's called.
marbled? That's not the word, right?
I mean,
They
yeah,
don't call it that. I
you
think I'm
could.
making that
They
up.
just
I'm
call it the
making that up.
variegated heart. Yeah.
Okay, great. I couldn't remember if I was making up that name, which apparently I was.
It should be
That
called
one,
marble, though. That's
it's so
cute.
cutesy, right? So that one was just like a 2-leafer when I got it, and it's in like less than a 2-inch, like it's in like the little mouthwash cups that are very tiny.
Aw.
And it has a hole and everything, and it's in moss. It's in dirty moss, I think, is how the person sold it to me. It's
Mhm.
growing, it's giving me good leaves, but it's still staying really compact. Eventually, it won't be like that. But I would say, like, if you're someone that has like little spacing, like that corner of the fridge available, or like little tiny shelf space, bits and pieces that can get
Yes.
some light, and you want like more of a philodendron or pothos vibe, I really like growing just one strand of those plants because they feel small.
Yes.
And like I gave Matt some of my lemon lime philo right here, and he just has like 2 cuttings in a jar propagating, and it's
So
getting longer, but it's
pretty.
kind of staying together. And it's cute
Yeah,
because he has it just on a tiny shelf. It's doing its thing, but it's not like fat and huge like this big one on my wall. So
that's true.
there is that thing of like if you do want some trailing action, I think having maybe like on your buy nothing group or wherever, or if you have a pothos, giving it a little baby trim, you can get some of that like tiny trailing vibes in the house, but obviously they won't stay like that forever. But and they're
Yeah,
not slow growers. But I just thought that was such a cute idea seeing him do that. And I was like, oh, and it's been like he's had those cuttings for over a year and they're not that much bigger. So it's like you can
right?
enjoy that for a while.
Absolutely. I love that
Yeah.
you brought that up because it's true. If you do have a little space on a high shelf, having something very petite but long is so
Petite's a great word
cute.
for it.
Yeah.
Yes, like I've thought about chopping my neon pothos, which
Yeah,
right now I'm like, no, but there's like I have a really big bald section and it's doing a lot
I
better since I
see.
repotted it. So I was wondering, I was like, do I just cut from the bald section and maybe cut that into a lot of bitty pieces and then get
Right?
myself a ton of neons that I can like give away and then fill out the pot? 'Cause the pot has some bald spots now that it's so big.
Yeah.
But I do love how long it is. So it's like, but it is cutesy knowing that like, oh, I could cut off a couple feet of that and it's just one strand that I could hang off of a shelf.
So
I
true.
think that's also really pretty. So
Weave it
you
in
have
different
options if
things.
you want that trailing vibe, but you don't have a lot of
Yes.
space. But also for sure, free groups. People are always giving away pothos pieces because it grows so fast.
Yes, it
Yeah.
100%. It grows
Agreed.
so
We've
fast. It
talked
is
about
sweet.
this.
Yes.
Well, Holly, thank you for this episode. That was a lot of
Oh my gosh,
fun.
thank you. I'm glad you had fun. I did
Oh,
too.
thank you, Holly.
You guys can find me at Concrete Botanical on TikTok, at Concrete Botanical _ on IG, and concretebotanical.com for my shop.
And you guys can find me at Suck Up for Plantas with 2 C's. And you can catch the podcast at Boozy Botanical Podcast, where we drop new episodes every Tuesday on all the things: Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube for video, la-di-da-di-da. And please, if you don't mind, leave us a 5-star rate and review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out. And if you guys could leave us a rating on Spotify, that would be great. Little tip: if you don't listen on Spotify, but you have the app, it'll tell you like, you can't leave a review yet. You got to listen to some episodes first before you do that.
Wow,
I did it for full disclosure. I did it for SIGF because I was like, we got to get our numbers up. Yeah. I just like clicked an episode, forwarded through like a second, like halfway through, paused it.
Yeah.
I went to another one, did the same thing. And then I went to a third one, did the same thing. And then it let me leave a review or a rating.
There you go.
Do what you can for our boozy gals.
Listen to us.
Oh, no, keep listening. But if you listen on Apple, you better leave that rating on Spotify. I'm just kidding, but not. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening. Oh, yes. And if you want to collab, you can email us at boozybotanicalpodcast@gmail.com or DM us. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Hey. We appreciate you. You're the best. I hope you had a wonderful Halloween, and we'll see you next week.
And on that note, cheers.
Hey, 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 hey.